Hello, everyone, and welcome to Daily English Dose. Today, I'm going to tell you the breathtaking story of two young men who took big risks to achieve their dreams, faced countless obstacles, but never gave up. Have you ever held onto a dream tightly? Or have you ever thought about pursuing that dream despite all the difficulties you faced? This story is proof of perseverance, friendship, and how an ordinary caravan can turn into a life-changing adventure. Their names are Leo and Max, and this is the story of their great adventure that began with an old caravan. If you're ready, let's embark on this inspiring journey. Our story is about two childhood friends, two young men in their mid-20s, named Leo and Max. Leo was always a creative and adventurous spirit, full of dreams. He worked as a marketing specialist in an agency, but his soul couldn't fit into the narrow office walls. Bored with his monotonous job, he was looking for something to add excitement to his life. His biggest dream was to restore an old caravan, turn it into a mobile coffee shop, and travel all over Europe with it. Max, on the other hand, was a more realistic, down-to-earth young man. He worked in a finance company, like Leo, and preferred a stable life. He would laugh as he listened to Leo's dream, saying, "That's impossible, Leo. Are you crazy?" However, there was also a small spark of adventure inside Max, one he might not have even been aware of himself. Their common problem was that they both felt lost in the monotony of city life and hadn't found a real purpose in their lives. One evening, Leo appeared before Max with a photo of an old, rusty caravan in his hand. His eyes shining, he said, "We have to buy this, Max. This is the key to achieving our dreams." Max initially strongly objected. "Who would pay money for this junk? We don't have any money. It'll cost at least a car's worth just to fix it." But Leo was persistent. When they went to see the caravan, they realized it was in much worse condition than they had thought. Rust had covered everything, the engine wasn't working, and the interior was a dilapidated wreck, overrun with mice. However, Leo was determined to see the potential in it. Max couldn't resist his friend's endless energy, his faith in life, and the sparkle in his eyes, and the small fire of adventure within him ignited. They pooled their last savings and bought the caravan for a symbolic price. That moment was a point of no return for both of them. It was a farewell to their boring office lives, and a courageous start to an adventurous and uncertain future. First challenge: the renovation. Nightmare and endless difficulties. Repairing the caravan was many times harder than they had imagined. It turned into a complete nightmare. At first, everything seemed like it would go smoothly. They watched videos online and worked enthusiastically. But when they lifted the rusty chassis, they saw that the engine was completely corroded. The roof was full of holes, and during a heavy rain, the interior turned into a pond. The inside was not just dilapidated, but also smelled of damp and mold. They fell into despair. Leo kept cutting his hands and pinching his fingers while trying to fix the caravan's engine. Max, trying to design the interior, encountered unexpected plumbing and electrical problems. Money was quickly running out, their savings rapidly diminishing. They started spending their weekends in dusty workshops and an old repair shop. They asked for help from master craftsmen and watched repair videos in every spare moment. They were exhausted. Their eyes were bruised from lack of sleep. They often argued, "This was a mistake, Leo. This job will never end. We're not cut out for this." Max shouted angrily one day. Leo, tired but determined, replied, "We will finish it, Max. We promised. This is our dream." After several months of sleepless nights, rusty tools, and workshop days filled with the smell of grease and coffee, the caravan's skeleton was finally solid. Its engine began to purr, and the interior had become livable. In this process, both of them had gained many new skills, from mechanics to carpentry, from electrics to plumbing. Their hands were calloused, but there was a sense of pride within them. Second challenge, the bureaucracy maze and a test of patience. Preparing the caravan for travel proved even more challenging than the mechanical repairs. Obtaining the necessary permits, licenses, food hygiene certificates, and road safety certifications for a mobile coffee shop was an absolute nightmare. They shuttled between municipal buildings, being directed from one official to another. They had to pay a separate fee for each new document, which further strained their already limited budget. "This paperwork is driving me crazy. It's taken us weeks and we're still nowhere near finished," Max exclaimed, hitting the table with a stack of hundreds of papers. Leo tried to calm him, saying, "Calm down, Max. We've achieved the hardest part. Now we're in the final steps. We just need to be patient." After days of phone calls, hours of waiting, and endless form filling, they finally managed to obtain all the necessary permits. This process taught them the importance of patience, persistence, and finding a way through even the most complex systems. Third challenge, unexpected problems on the road and the first crisis. They embarked on their first long journey with their caravan and coffee equipment. Their plan was simple. They would go to a charming coastal town in southern England, stay there for a few days, and sell coffee. However, in the middle of the road, in a place with no settlements, the caravan broke down. The engine suddenly stopped and wouldn't start again. Their phones had no signal, and the nearest town seemed miles away. The rain had also suddenly intensified, and black clouds covered the sky. "What do we do now, Leo? We're completely stranded. I told you this caravan would leave us stuck on the road," Max said with worry, his voice trembling. Although Leo didn't panic, there was a great fear inside him. They tried to fix the caravan's engine repeatedly, but it was useless. Hours later, they saw the lights of an old tractor approaching in the distance. By chance, it was an elderly farmer living in the area. Seeing their situation, the farmer didn't hesitate to help them, towing the caravan to the nearest village. In the village, they had a warm meal, fixed the caravan with the farmer's help, and spent the night in a small guest house. This incident taught them to be more prepared for unexpected situations, to carry emergency kits, and most importantly, not to be afraid to ask for help from strangers. Fourth challenge, the storm within themselves and strengthening bonds. After several successful sales and setting up their stall in small towns, tension began to rise between Leo and Max. Leo wanted to go to bigger festivals, take more risks, and move the caravan to more popular locations. "Our potential is huge, Max. Why should we stay in these small villages?" he would say. Max, on the other hand, preferred to stay in more stable, well-known places and take fewer risks. "I don't like risks, Leo. I don't want to ruin this business. We need to stay safe," he would retort. One evening, while selling coffee in a crowded place, Leo became annoyed, and though in a low voice, spoke harshly when Max made a mistake with an order due to fatigue. Max retaliated. "Maybe this dream was only for you, Leo. I can't handle this much adventure, this much risk. I've just been dragged along by you," he said, and walked out of the caravan. Leo was devastated. The adventure he had dreamed of with his best friend was about to end. Neither of them could sleep that night. They missed each other, but their pride held them back. The next morning, Leo sent Max a message. "This caravan has no soul without you, Max. Come back. We need to talk." Max's eyes filled with tears when he read the message. He returned, and they talked for a long time. They understood each other's fears, expectations, and dreams better. They decided to make a more balanced plan. They would continue to go to big festivals, but would also take regular breaks and visit quieter places where Max felt more comfortable. Soon after, they received an invitation to a major music festival in London. They completed their preparations and went to the festival. Their caravan and coffee shop became one of the most popular spots at the festival. Long queues formed, and their coffee sold out quickly. People were eager to hear the story of their caravan. At that moment, Leo and Max felt that all their efforts had not been in vain, that their dreams had become real. This was their turning point. They were not just selling coffee, but also inspiring people. At that festival, the reputation of their caravan spread beyond London. Their caravan, now known as Hope Coffee Stop, quickly became famous. Not only were they earning money, but they were also meeting new people, seeing different cities, and enjoying being their own bosses. Leo had learned to be more patient and understanding during this process. Max, on the other hand, had become more courageous and adventurous. He wasn't afraid to take risks and was eager to explore new places. Their friendship, like the rusty body of the caravan, had grown even stronger despite all the difficulties. Their business started doing so well that they even considered buying a second caravan and expanding their team. The monotony was over. Their lives had turned into a meaningful, exciting adventure full of surprises every day. Leo and Max's story shows us that true friendships are forged in the hardest times. And pursuing dreams is not just about reaching a goal, but also about personal growth. Obstacles are inevitable, but with perseverance, cooperation, and belief, anything can be overcome. This story reminds us of the power of following a dream and never giving up. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Drop a comment below. I'd really love to hear what you think. Remember, consistent listening, confident speaking.